Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the third episode of Pwny Racing. So, what this is that we're going to do kind of the esports variant of CTF. So we have today 3 participants. Unfortunately, we had a late dropout, but we have 3 participants, and they are going to attempt the same Pwnable challenge and trying to be the fastest one to solve it. And I am going to be a commentator here together with my co-host Bob. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
And yeah, so let's look at the participants for today. So this is what the setup is going to look like. We have Jinmo, Retroid, and Mac. And Bob, would you like to give a short introduction? Wait, I'm just going to bring them in here. So, okay, so Bob, would you give us a short presentation of who our participants are today? Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, I people are not hearing you. Oh, yeah. So, unfortunately, I made a slight screw up here on the voice settings. So, Bob, I will unfortunately ask you to just redo this introduction. Basically, I'm really sorry about that. No one could hear
Sure.
that.
Well, we have Jinmo from Korea. Obviously, people would have seen him about as they play Pwns in CTFs. He's an all-rounder. He does a bit of everything, but he's really good at Pwns. We have Mac from Dragon Sector. Again, one of those old names that I'm sure we've all seen around. And obviously, Dragon Sector is one of the finest teams that's ever existed. So again, you should know who he is. And then Retroid is the up and comer from the UK. He's in Crown, a new-ish team that's been doing a lot of stuff lately. He hacks segways for fun. He's been getting bugs in Kimu. He got a big DRM bug, I think, in December that was making the news. So he's great up and comer.
Great. So I think all the participants should have received the challenge. So is everyone ready to go? Jinmo, Mac, Retroid?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. So I'm gonna move you guys over to the other channel so that you can't hear us, and then I'm gonna do just a short explanation of the setup, and I'm gonna do a countdown. And on the countdown, you are free to start working. Okay?
User was moved out of your channel. User was moved out of your channel. User was moved out of your channel.
Okay. So this is a regular Pwnable setup. They will get a copy of the binary. The same binary is running on the server. They need to analyze the binary, find the vulnerability, and exploit the server. So we are going to do a countdown and start this this episode of Pwny Racing now. So, okay, participants, we are going to start this now. So I'm going to do a countdown, and then you can just start. So you can start on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck. Okay, so Bob, let's start out checking out, for example, what the players will be doing first, and what the tools they will be using. So let's just take a round and start out with Jinmo, who as there is something, so yeah, some kind of issue with his stream, so we'll be sorting that while we quickly move over to Retroid. Yeah, he seems to be, first of all, just starting the, just trying to start the program, and now seems to be starting up IDA for some initial analysis.
Right. Just checking out the binary initially. Did anybody get to see if it was a licensed IDA there?
Oof, let's not delve into that, you know. So okay, so Jinmo's stream has fixed itself, so let's jump back to him. Also an IDA user, and finally we have Mac, who will also be using IDA. So all three participants using IDA. Seems that you know, the possible alternative Ghidra hasn't really cemented itself as a popular choice quite yet, I think.
Right. I guess these people don't feel confident in their speed in Ghidra. Too many new things.
Yeah. I received a request here in the chat if people can, you know, play along with the challenge, and absolutely. So I'm posting the URL in the chat if you want to, you know, take a look at the challenge yourself. So I can see here that Jinmo is, you know, starting out with some initial dynamic analysis. Interesting thing to note here that he is doing this in Windows directly, which I think is one of the first times we've seen that.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, to be honest, it should work well enough.
Yeah. No, yeah, I guess so. I mean, he's using like VMware for the. What is this? So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know Korean, so some of these, you know, menus are a bit difficult to see, but this is some kind of VM, what do you call it? Monitoring thing. This, yeah, I don't know, some VMware tool I haven't seen before. Starting out with some notes here.
All right, he's already onto the bug.
Okay.
One of the bugs.
Wow, that speed. So yeah, maybe we should do a quick, you know, quick explanation of what we're dealing with here.
Look at that, he's writing an exploit already.
Wow, the speed of this guy. Yeah, so if we compare that to the other players, seems to be some. Oh no, it's working. Okay. So basically, the first thing they need to find is this. So there's the format string vulnerability as the first step, right?
Yeah.
And
severely limited though.
Yeah.
So they have 12 bytes. That's it. So there's a format string vulnerability, but they've only read 12 bytes into that buffer. So there's not much you can do with that besides maybe a small write or, you know, lots of leaking. But obviously there is a little trick, and that is that the format string that reads the data in, the 12 bytes in, exists on the stack. So if they see all the right details, they should be able to realize that they can write to that string with that format string vulnerability. And then obviously they get a buffer overflow.
Yes. And
so simple, but you know, a little bit tricky if you don't see all the results.
Great. Yeah, I'm actually, you know, I mean, I know that you told me beforehand that Jinmo is, you know, that he's quick, but
yeah, dude, he's another level, this guy.
Okay.
I mean, people talk about GeoHot a lot of the time. I've seen this guy solo some big CTFs and just smash people, and really quickly as well.
Yeah. And this is the same, one thing that we talked about on the previous episode is that very quickly start out with like scripting the stuff that you know to really, you know, get as much automation as possible in there to really not waste any time on any manual labor when doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus the consistency, being able to run it over and over again the exact same way, being able to attach to a debugger easily. It's all. Yeah. It's good form with him.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to, you know, checking the different offsets for the format string leak to try to get to the next step. Let's move over to Retroid, who is now also starting out to do some starting out the scripting here. He's also using Pwn tools as most people these days. Such a powerful library.
Yeah, I mean, it's a must-have, obviously. Just does everything, even things you never thought it would do.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like he's also going to start doing this, like setting up the format string, like trying to loop it a little bit to check the different offsets to see, where things are located.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a limited buffer of 12 bytes that they can't really examine the entire stack dynamically in one go. So they're going to have to loop and just keep incrementing those offsets.
Yeah. So checking in with Mac, who he has opted for some more thorough dynamic analysis by firing up GDB with the. Is this Pwnybug or is it just very similar? It doesn't have the same prompt. What does it say? GEF, I think.
Yeah, this is GEF by Hugsy. It's
Okay.
another one that's out there. It does it's just like Pwnybug. It sort of works across different architectures, but it's really good lately. Like it has all sorts of stuff in there, automatic UAF finders and things like that. It's a great tool, and it's also much more lightweight when you're doing embedded stuff. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
prefer it if you're on the actual host.
Okay, so if you need to do some remote or like not remote debugging, but actually debugging on a limited
Yeah,
device.
like a little router or something like that. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Great. Yeah, I
Loads
mean
of
we see some of these, like it's really nice to see that there is like continuous development. This, I mean, remember we had PETA before for
Right.
GDB, and then I think like Pwnybug came and picked up the trail and surpassed it, incorporated pretty much all of its features plus other things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go for GEF or Pwnybug. I go with Pwnybug personally, just because they work with GDB multi-arch these days, and you kind of have to switch architectures, whereas PETA doesn't do that. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. No, but PETA is kind of a dead project by now, right?
Yeah, it hasn't been updated in years.
No.
But I'll tell you what, Mac's approach is right, because he doesn't have to loop through to find all those offsets. If he's in GDB, he just has to find that place, and then he can get everything he needs
Yeah.
just by examining the stack.
So this is kind of a general thing, right? When you're looking at these, finding these offsets. I mean, what you can do is what most people usually do is just loop it a couple of times and see where the offsets are. But I mean, it is possible to calculate this, at least when you get kind of one of the offsets, and then you actually have a more formal approach, and like actually calculating the offsets based on like stack layout from IDA. But I mean, most of the time it's easier to just dump that shit and look at the data.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to be a little bit careful. As soon as you use positional arguments with printf, it actually copies that segment of the stack using an alloca call. So you're always working on that cached copy, not the actual direct stack. So
yeah, which is why you can't like write an address into.
yeah, exactly. You can never use positional arguments to write to a pointer that you then use again.
Yeah, but you can do it then without the positional arguments, or
Yeah. If you don't use any, percent number dollar format, then you're fine.
Okay, cool. Let's check in with the Retroid. So no debugger at the moment. So he has this commented out section of his script where he has been dumping some parts of the stack. So we see this nice little outer loop where he iterates in like chunks of 5, and then dumping 5 values at a time. But he has now commented that out, and it seems like he has written some notes at the top about its offsets. And yeah, so number 4 leaks pi, number 2 leaks stack, number 6 leaks libc.
So he seems to have realized that he only gets a limited number of tries.
Yep.
And so he wants to condense these leaks into as few tries as possible, because he still has to do something after the leaks.
Yeah.
So I think he gets 4 tries. That's it.
Yeah, and now he has written a comment here. How many leaks can we fit in one input? It's
Right. He has 12 bytes to work with, which obviously limits him. If he's using, percent $10 P or something, then that's, that extra decimal digit uses up some valuable space.
oh yeah,
And you notice that he's still using the dots between the addresses,
yeah,
which obviously is a waste.
yep. I mean, it's very
He's
like a
just paused.
default thing that you would do, right? Because typically you're not really this constrained, so it's really nice to be
Yeah.
able to separate your values.
Yeah. Percent P dot percent P dot. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually go for just
You go
percent
X.
X, yeah.
Yeah. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh yeah, I don't really know. I think it's maybe because then I usually go for the full percent 08x dot to be really sure that I know what the output format is going to be. But yeah, when you're this constrained, you of course have to adapt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's check back with Jinmo. He's doing some. Yeah, let's try to see if we can decipher his exploit here. Wow, he's already.
Oh my god, he's got the whole thing. This is ridiculous. He's building a ROP chain. You see line 27,
Yeah.
that's him writing percent %s to the string on the stack. So he already understands that he gets the leaks. Then he goes for the format string altering.
Yeah.
Line 27, and then it's just a straight buffer overflow. This is going to be over in minutes.
Wow,
This is
this
ridiculous.
is so we might be compensating for the fact that the two first episode of Pwny Racing was a bit on the longer side. Yeah, but I mean also it's played CTF is running this weekend, so we don't want to keep the all the Pwn enthusiasts too occupied with this, so that people can get back to one of the most important CTFs of the year. It was an unfortunate scheduling collision, but we couldn't really do anything about it if we wanted to keep somewhat of a regular schedule. So yeah.
Wow.
Isn't
this amazing?
This speed, this is just pure beauty.
Yeah, it's another level,
Yep.
honestly.
That's impressive. But let's not get too hypnotized by that, and check in with the others. So looking at Mac here, he's starting out with the scripting as well. He has found the same offsets then, I think, as well. You
Yeah.
see here it's like stack binary libc, and it is this like 0 to 4 spacing between them. So yeah, we got a message here in the chat like, who let Jinmo into this competition? Yeah, I mean it's a good point.
But it's nice to see people at that level.
Yeah.
isn't it?
No,
Just to
it's cool.
So you know the level that you're supposed to be hitting at. You never get to see Jinmo live, and so this is fascinating.
Yeah. So I mean it kind of seems like people are. Oh yeah, you can see here Mac, for example, he has written down the format string address and then there's offset on the stack. So he's also getting the idea about overwriting the format string itself.
Yeah. I'm starting to double, think again if I should have done a harder challenge. Usually people give me shit for being too hard. And now that you got Jinmo in the competition, it's game over.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm checking in with Retroid here as well. Yeah, I mean, he has the offsets, but it seems that there's something that something that seems to bother him. He's not really moving on from there quickly.
Yeah, so he definitely doesn't have the canary yet.
Yeah.
Because he probably doesn't realize that he is supposed to use this format string vuln in order to get a buffer overflow.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, Bob.
I just need to put this out there though, that like all of these guys are really good, and so sometimes it just doesn't come through when you have one person that's onto the correct solution immediately.
No, no, no. I'm thinking that we might, because in the previous episodes, since we were running, so long, we, stopped as soon as one of them managed to solve it. But I'm thinking that, if Jinmo is, too damn quick, we might, keep rolling and see, see the different solutions by the different players, um, and see what different approaches there are.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think that'd be a good solution.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, let's check in here with Mac again. It's getting serious when you have these like multiple terminals, like 4 terminals open, and all these, a debugger in one of them, the script in one of them, and
IPython is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mac's very thorough. He has the full stack dump. He has everything he needs. He's not, messing about here.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see when they understand that you're supposed to leverage this.
Yeah. But I mean, Mac has noted down the offset of the format string, and Jinmo is way past that. Oh, he
Did he just pop it?
Yeah, well, he did. Oh shit. Okay, that's a problem. So one moment, I'm just gonna bring him in here.
User was moved
Hey,
to your
Yinmo,
channel.
congratulations. You just solved it. The submitter
done.
is not working because I made a mistake, but you did it. That's amazing.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Great.
That's record time, mate.
Yeah, what's that like? That's like
Oh.
15 minutes or something. Wow, congratulations. So someone had the idea here that we should just bring you in and help out on the commenting. Let's see how it's going for the others, and let's keep people working and see what they end up with. I'm just gonna tell them that the submission thing is not working. That was a little bit unfortunate. There were some nice fireworks that you will not get to see. So everyone just note that the flag submission thingy is not really working, just due to a small bug, but we see when you pop the shell, so it's no problem. But congratulations, Jinmo, and that was ridiculously fast. We'll have to ask you a little bit about this afterwards, but let's just sit back for the moment and check where the other players are going with this. So checking Retroid, he is let's see what he's up to right now. Is he moving past? So he's leaking all these things, right? But it doesn't really seem that he have discovered this thing about the format string being on the stack. What do you say, Bob?
Yeah, definitely not. He's thinking about using the format string to write something. That's what I think. So he's trying to get all the leaks up front in as few tries as possible, and then he's going to try do something crazy with that format string.
Yeah. So checking in with Mac though, he has understood this, right? So he knows that he should overwrite the format string itself. It looks like he is doing it, right? Trying to decipher the details here of his exploit, but
Yeah, he's definitely understood that part.
so let's see. He's sending the address of the format string, right? And then he's verifying.
Yeah.
He's verifying it, right?
Right, just to make sure that he has the correct amount of pops away.
Yeah.
Jinmo, how did you spot it so quickly?
Well, so I found a format string book,
Yeah.
and the format string was stored stored in the stack. So there was a pointer that points the format string, and I could write the format string with a 16-bit integer.
Oh yeah,
So you just
So
knew.
here it is.
that's cool. So looking at Mac, he is reading up on some format string exploit reference documentation. So did he hit some kind of problem here, or? Oh yeah, so he's adding a positional argument. So will this be?
Oh, right. Yeah.
That would be
So
an issue then, right? Because he will
yeah.
hit the exact thing that we talked about.
Right. But as long as he's just reading and not writing to it, then that's fine.
Yeah, but oh yeah, just to find the offset. So if you remove, well, okay,
If he changed that P to an N, then we have a problem because he won't be writing to the pointer he thinks he's writing to. He'll be writing to the copy.
oh yeah, this can be very confusing if you're not, on board with this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a crazy. It's a bit of a mind fuck, to be honest. But
Yeah,
once you sort of conceptualize it,
yeah.
it's a great trick to understand.
I think our teammate ADC wrote an article about this exact thing a long time ago. So it's and he has. I mean, I think he has been yelling at our other teammates for not for making that mistake. It's like, hey, why haven't you read my exact article about this about this exact topic? So I remember that at some competition. Well, checking at Retroid then, where is he at? So we also have, I mean, he have the leaks set up. So the Pi leak, the stack leak, the libc leak, right? But yeah,
Yeah, so it needs one more leak, which is the canary. But he's not going to go for the canary leak until he understands that he can get the buffer overflow. I mean, I don't know that it is possible, but it might be possible to use such a tiny format string to do something, some write or something, as long as the pointer is already on the stack.
yeah,
Because otherwise he's eating up 4 bytes just to place the pointer on the stack.
yep. So yeah. Yeah, I'm still just
Blown away.
shocked, yeah, by just your speed, Jinmo, and
But you know what? I kind of expected it because I have been saying that Jinmo's like another level, and so for him to show up and just like show it, because even though the challenge is a bit easier this time, it's still relative to the other players. You really get to see that performance difference.
yeah, and maybe that's
Thanks.
also yeah. Sorry, Jinmo, go on. You said something.
Thanks for invitation.
Oh, it's super nice to have you here.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you for sure.
So
Jinmo, can I ask you a question? If you were to rate this challenge in terms of CTF points, like between 100 and 500, what would you rate it?
in difficulty, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
150.
Exactly. Thank you. There it is.
yeah, no, but I do agree kind of with it this time, right? I think you know this was, but you were originally going for something more difficult, right? But we or you decided to tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, I always try go for 150. That's always been the idea. 150 on a mid-level CTF, but then everyone tells me it was higher. So this time I took it a little bit lower, and it seems like I hit the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's cool. But I think is, I mean, this is probably more closer to the level we are aiming for at these, um, this kind of thing. Today was maybe a bit extreme. When Jinmo just kills it in 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
I think it should be like to have keep up the intensity of it. Um, let's look at Retroid here again. So yeah, it's calculating the like base addresses there, and but still, yeah, still not really going for that overwriting the format string itself again. So
I love it when they comment.
yeah. So they can use, yeah, as they say, they have a very short write, which they don't really know exactly how to use yet. If you're checking with Mac, he, yeah, so is he getting this to work yet? Yeah.
So what exactly is he doing? I haven't really understood why he's using the format string address when the pointer already exists on the stack. Like, he understands he's supposed to write to the format string address, but the pointer already exists on the stack, so he's using a valuable space to do that. And it looks like he's just debugging to make sure that the thing he's writing to is there. So that's why he's just replaced it with ABCD. So he has the right idea. You can see that experience really coming through, but I'm not sure that he saw it was already on the stack.
Yeah. So, Jinmo, could you maybe guide us through your
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh shit, Jinmo disconnected from the TeamSpeak. That's unfortunate. Let's hope he comes back. And we'll just, I was just about to ask him. Oh, he's back.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey,
Oh,
you,
sorry.
no problem. I was just asking if you could just guide us through your exploit a little bit. We have it up on the screen. So if you just would explain, yeah, the parts of your exploit
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah. So first I calculated a distance between ESP and return address, and that is the IDX variable. So first I leak a canary value from the stack, which is IDX -4, and I leak return address and the libc address. The libc address is from main's return address, not the login's return address. So the libc address is inside the libc start main function calculated so like this. So here's the point. So I subtracted, and since we have a canary value and libc address, it is game over since I can just call a system with bin sh arguments, and then I pop the shell. So before that, so the format string limited string length to 12 bytes, but I tried to overwrite it with a limited string. So that is %s, and so to overwrite it, I first try to get a pointer to this format string. So wait a moment. So okay, so the login function has a scanf to this buffer, and there's the return address here. And since this binary is 32-bit, then the argument pointers are all here. So it points to a format string. So it is a pointer to the format string, and we can access it through the printf function like this. So we can assume that 100 index points at this address. So if we use S specifier, then we can dump the original format string. But if we change S to N, then we can overwrite the format string with the length that is already that printf gave the length of characters. So I needed a shortest format string that I can abuse. So I tried this, and it is just 2 bytes, which can be represented with 16 bits integer. So I try to do this and do this. Then we can overwrite the format string, and there goes a buffer overflow. Since we know the canary value already, so we can just do a ROP. Okay, finish.
Perfect.
Wow. Yeah, it's. I mean, that's how you solve it, right?
That's exactly the way you solve it. What is amazing is the speed that you came to all the realizations. You just saw the right things right away, and you were already onto the solution.
Yeah.
It really shows the quality difference.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's check in quickly with the other players. So this is interesting. Retroid is looking at the Pwntool's. Pwntool has a format string module, which is supposed to help you out with these format string exploitation. I've only used it like once or so, and it worked. But question is, in such a constrained environment, will it help you or just make it more difficult?
Yeah, I would imagine it's suboptimal when it comes to thinking about the length of the format string, since that isn't usually a worry.
No, at least not this tight.
Right, exactly.
Like, sure, you can have.
It might have something built in. I'm not sure. I don't use it myself. I like to do these things by hand. I find it like, meditation or something. It's therapeutic. But I have my doubts for sure. It is a useful tool, though. I do hear that all the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, what is Mac up to is the question.
Yeah.
Because he was onto the right idea, but he was going a different way to get there.
Yeah, and it really feels like he got this first. I mean, okay, you have like the step 0, or what you would call it, just to realize that there's a format string. Like, that's kind of obvious. But then you have kind of step 1 is to realize that you have the format string is actually on the stack, and it seems that he understood it quite quickly. But then kind of like flatlined his progress somehow.
Yeah, I think he got caught up in some of that weird Python escaping sort of stuff. And he just wanted to confirm and then double confirm that it was doing what he expected it to do.
Yeah.
But he has the right idea. You could definitely see he saw that immediately. And for all of those other people that might be looking at the binary, it is interesting to note that in Jinmo's solution, he used %100. But the format string, a pointer to the format string exists, 7 pops in. So %7 $P, that's your format string. So it is in a few different places on the stack. So these guys have a few different opportunities to find it.
Yeah. And Retroid is now back in IDA checking the the code again. Maybe trying to see if he has spotted some or like missed some issues previously. We could see there that he had marked the actual printf, like pointed it out, like that's the vulnerability. We also got the question in the chat again. What's the challenge about? So yeah, as we said, so for the new viewers, basically it's a format string, a very limited format string vulnerability, where the actual format string itself then is located on the stack. So you can modify the format string and then use it again to do a straight up buffer overflow after you have leaked the base address and the canary. So it's like a fairly simple two-step thing with a slight trick.
Yeah, a little trick, and that's the problem. You can see it with Retroid. He understands to use the format string bug, but he has tunnel vision. Every time he switches to IDA, he's just looking at that one function, looking for some trick in that one function.
Yeah.
Whereas the way that Jinmo did it was he spotted that it was already on the stack from main. So sometimes it happens to all of us, obviously, well, except Jinmo. But you have to look around sometimes, evaluate the whole binary.
Yeah, don't get stuck on that first thing you find, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. So so this is a 32-bit binary, should be pointed out, right?
Yeah. So arguments are passed on the stack.
Yeah, and this is important, right? For the fact, or would this thing, would it be solvable in a 64-bit environment, basically?
Yeah, it would, because you can still read in null bytes, so you can write those 64-bit addresses. But the thing is that you would have to use a lot of gadgets in that ROP chain in order to populate registers. Whereas what you saw Jinmo do is he could completely control system and pass bin sh all from the stack. So it's much easier, much quicker. And also no null bytes, which is fun.
Yeah. So
Oh, more comments.
yeah. So he has a comment here, why is this getting sent over 2 lines?
Yeah, so I think he might have entered into one of those weird loop conditions where the thing he's overwritten one of the integers on the stack, potentially.
Yeah.
And in the loop, it'll keep just outputting. There was a bug like that. I did see that when I pwned this thing myself, and he might just be getting lost in that.
So one thing I was thinking about, if we actually bring up, let's see if I can do this. We could actually bring up the source code here on screen for the challenge, so that everyone can see it. And one thing I was thinking about this, because basically the players are given five chances to do this, right?
Yeah.
So would you be able to overwrite like the loop counter in the loop to like reset it and give yourself?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because you'd need a pointer to that thing.
Oh yeah.
Specifically.
Right.
But if they got the buffer overflow, they could. But then they wouldn't.
Oh yeah, maybe then you're already home free, right? So.
Right. So if you could go back to the source and we could basically just explain the vulnerability.
Yes. So I'm just gonna move these things to the side and zoom in a bit even further. So yes, I'm going just to let me move things around a little bit and get this on screen. Cool. So yes, here we have the whole source code. It's like 100 lines or something. I don't know.
Right. So if you go down to main.
Yep.
Right at the bottom. If you look at that stir copy line.
Here. Yeah.
where it's copying %12s into format. Format, obviously, you can see as a buffer that exists on the stack. This is what jinmo saw straight away. That means that that is writable. Now,
Yeah.
if we had fortify check enabled on this binary, obviously it would not allow a printf to contain anything like %n in a writable location. So obviously this is a known problem.
Yeah.
So then if you go up to the password checking function, which is just a little bit up.
Yeah. So the check
So
or the
yeah, there it is, the login function. There you can see it says if scanf, and it passes the format buffer. So that's where your input's being read using that format string that's on the stack.
yeah.
And then obviously our printf vulnerability is right below that printf pass.
Here, yes.
So simple, but obviously in a race you have to spot all these details straight away.
Yeah. So that's basically it, and then you have this non-existent shell function. So they actually have to we're not giving any shells away for free.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't need to with jinmo around.
No. So oh yeah. So now something is happening. If we look at Retroid, he seems to do if we're looking at this, he's overwriting the return address. So this is a different strategy, right?
Yeah, so yeah, that's an interesting. Wait, so he needs a pointer to the return address. So is that %11?
Yeah, that's
weird.
So
because
what would
point to the return address? Like the base pointer points to the next base pointer. We know that trick.
Yeah.
But nothing should be pointed to the return address.
No, that's a bit odd, right? And even if it would, right? What well, if you have you could do like the one gadget thing, right? If you could overwrite the return address directly.
Right, but then you'd have to use a libc address, so that might consume, like you'd have to do it over 2 runs.
Yep.
You'd have to do all of that in 12 bytes.
Yeah.
Which just is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Maybe. Listen, I can't say that it's impossible, because I haven't really tried myself. But it seems, certainly, I think I could say it's improbable. It's a lot harder than overwriting the format string on the stack.
Yeah. The Mac, there was a lot of activity going on his screen here. Some kind of looping over, trying different things here. Not sure exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, he is obscuring his script a little bit. Yeah, having difficulty terminating his own exploit.
I wonder if he's doing a bit of egg hunting.
Oh,
like
yeah.
An automatic way of finding where the pointer is.
Yeah.
So it seems like something like that.
So
that's why he's using grep, just to look for his A's.
So trying to find the right offset, basically, of his own data.
Right, which is so unfortunate because when he started, he was the only one that was in GDB with a full stack in front of him.
Yeah.
And he would have had all of the offsets he needs perfectly.
Yeah.
But now he's gone for the dynamic approach.
Yeah. No, this is it's unfortunate.
But what's fascinating is you see a lot of these experienced guys, they don't waste time using the format string tool in Pwnable. They all use Pwnable, but they never seem to use it. You ever notice that?
Yeah, but I'm wondering if so I think the format string tool is it's more useful when you have to do more complicated things, like to use it as an abstraction layers for like an arbitrary read and write over multiple things. But if you just need to like write one value to one place, then I mean you would just hard code those operations and you're done, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's exactly the way you should do it here.
Yeah.
But of course, unless you know that you're going for the buffer overflow, then why would you bother?
Yeah. So looking here at Retroid again, he's inspecting code again, checking out TeamSpeak. Here we are. Ooh. Yeah, someone commented that like you're like the exploit gets more readable if you use that module. I'm not sure I would agree because at least what I would do is of course still put it into a function and name it. So like put it in a small function, call it like write this value here or whatever. So yeah, I really think the advantages of these like modules they really shine when you have to do something over and over again, or just as an abstraction layer.
Right. Yeah, it's super useful, and I'm sure it does make the code look cleaner. But all of these tools are really convenient until the day that they aren't, and then that's always the day that I seem to be living in.
Yeah.
So I'm like a Luddite. I'll just do it by hand.
Yeah.
So Retroid definitely was looking around the binary, but didn't notice that stir copy or just scanned straight over it.
Yeah.
But he has a strategy. He seems to be, he's going for the magic gadget, aka the one shot.
Yeah, so I'm getting some reports here that there is something off with Retroids, which like that he's confusing the libc versions. I must admit that I'm not quite seeing it though. So a bit confused about that. Yeah, and I think someone just agreed to you being a Luddite on in the chat. So well.
All right, but I've never been stopped by a format string bug. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm no jinmo, but I can hold my own with a dumb FSP.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, it's fun. It's like I don't know, whatever people get from playing golf or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I'm not in a race.
Oh, maybe we should put you in the race sometime.
I don't think so, dude.
No, because then I would have to make the challenge. So we wouldn't want that, right?
But just don't put me up against jinmo.
Well, maybe. I'll do an all hacking for Soju lineup. So all of us to decide who is the king pwner in the team.
Oh, then I'd have to.
Yeah, it's like Hugh, Matthias, Joel.
Well, Joel never show up, so I think we'll be fine.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. So Joel was supposed to be participating today, but unfortunately he's been a bit stressed out with work and stuff, so he had to put in a late cancellation, which is very unfortunate because it would have been super fun to see him as well. Haven't really seen him pwning in quite a while, so it would be really cool to see if he's still up to it.
Yeah, I think he would have to be. I mean, he is one of those guys that just always goes hard. He has like 20 years of knowledge in that head of his, so I'd love to see it happen.
Yes. So let's
So
look.
that's interesting. If you look at that, all the signs right in front of Retroid there.
Yep.
He was in GDB, and he sees the parameters being passed to scanf, and just above that, oh, now he's looking in the man page for something special.
Oh, it's gone bad when you have to go to the man page.
Yeah, exactly. And also, no one reads the full man page, so you're only ever just skimming it and hoping to see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right there, he's skipped over the part where scanf was called, and right there he's going to see that the string is passed to that function on the stack, which tells you everything you need to know to turn this into a buffer overflow.
Oh yeah, you have it there right on screen, like right below the prompt.
Right. So it's just, and it looks like it's even highlighted. So he's copying onto it, I think. I hope.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this is, this is like the tension, the suspense of sitting here, like, seeing them
It's
work on
torture
this.
to watch.
Oh yeah, it is truly. Well, checking in with Mac again. He is not doing anything currently. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, he was thinking. That's also, I mean, that's a typically good thing to do in these situations.
So what he's doing right there is he's doing what Jinmo said he did, which is you find the distance between two parts of the stack, and then he's dividing them by 4 to see how many pops, that percent X, that thing that he needs to put in where X is. How many of those does he need to get something interesting?
Yeah.
He's P-dubbing.
Yes, he is, Bob. Yes, he's P-dubbing. I mean, I promised that I would totally buy that expression, so we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, P-dubbing, that's the new thing.
Yeah, can't really call it P-dub racing though. It's doesn't kind of work with the the pun or whatever you would call it.
Right, but and the branding's final, but it's just cool. It's what all the kids are saying now.
Yeah, P-dubbing. So, a comment here from Retroid again. The pointer to the format string is already on the stack.
Oh,
Just need to find it. Oh yeah,
clever.
yeah. Now we're P-dubbing. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so sometimes you just got to find those details. But it's interesting that Jinmo saw it from the, IDA straight away,
Yep.
and Retroid got it through dynamic analysis, of the actual binary in GDB.
Yep.
Which I got to be honest, I probably do as well, because I like to be dumb.
Yep.
And sometimes I just like to see it in front of me. I don't even bother to try to think. But whatever gets you to the goal, I guess.
No, I mean, like anything you can do to decrease the amount of thinking that you need to do is better,
Efficient.
right? Yeah, like
Yeah,
offload.
Just efficient, right?
Let the computer work for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Work smart, not hard, and so on. So yeah, he's trying to find the offset here.
I think he's actually counting the pops manually.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something I could see myself doing.
No, I mean, like when there are so few, it works. Like it's about these things. Like when do you script it, and when do you script it, when you brute force it, when do you just try it manually?
He's 1 pop off at 7.
Yes.
Oh, now he went to 5. If he did 7, he'd see the string.
Yeah. So we have an issue here with Retroid's script that you can see on screen. So as we said, this is a 32-bit binary, but on line 41, where he's loading in the libc, that will actually point to won't that point to the 64-bit version?
Yeah, I think it would, right?
Yeah. So his this will give him some very, very strange results when doing it. Hopefully, it should be fairly obvious, but we'll see. So because that's the only thing you really need that for is the system address, right?
And maybe bin sh.
Oh
But
yeah.
he knows he could also stick that on the. He has so many leaks. He can stick that on the stack if he wants.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe it should be fairly obvious, like because so it won't really hit him until he gets the buffer overflow and right before the final step. So hopefully it will be fairly obvious to him when he debugs that issue and is seeing that it's jumping to the completely wrong address.
Yeah, but that might be the time that he needs to take second.
Yep, yep. So checking in with Mac again. He still doing some of this dynamic analysis to find. Is he still looking for the offset, or am I misunderstanding his work? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so now we should definitely check back with Retroid, because what he's doing here now, you see that he is creating this he's creating this new format string that he wants to do, also adding a comment please work. So
Oh, there it is. %7. That's the exact same pointer that I used.
Yeah.
So, yep, there we go. We have a seg fault.
So praying to the PW gods a little bit.
I think you've used PW more than I have in this episode.
Well, I told you. I told you I would stick with it.
Yeah, you're a man of your word.
Yeah. I have to, I have to try it out in different contexts as well. Like, when can you say it? When can't you?
When you're giving talks to those people that want to learn how to pwn, start dropping it in.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said pwn. I meant PW.
Yes. Oh yeah, so you can see it might be a bit hard to catch, but when Retroid is running the script, you will get a check-sec output both 32 and 64-bit, and that's because his script is loading the 64-bit library. There you can see it right on screen now. Yeah, he still hasn't, really. Oh, he got the buffer overflow though, so that's good. So he just pumped it full with input without any care for what
noise.
Noise. That's something we all can subscribe to. So basically, he has the buffer overflow, and we get a noise in the chat by Matthias as well. So yeah, we're all good. So basically, what he's gonna do now is gonna overwrite with the canary, so he doesn't get the stack smashing, and then he's gonna build his ROP chain, and then he's gonna figure
the canary.
Oh yeah, but didn't he already do that before, or?
I thought that he didn't even consider that option, so he leaked everything except the canary.
Oh, yeah, of course. So okay, that shouldn't really be the main issue though, but he still needs to do it. Yep. So let's check in with Mac again. Still roaming around here in the GDB, searching for something.
But here's the thing about Mac, is that he's doing something clever. We might not be able to know exactly what he's doing, but it's going to be something clever.
Yep.
Like, just trust me. It's going to be something amazing.
Yep.
He has an angle. and he's exploring it, although it is costing a lot of time, which is unfortunate.
Yep.
That's the thing with these Dragon Sector guys, it's, again, just like Jinmo, it's another level.
Yeah. So if we check back with Retroid, he is searching for Ubuntu glibc 227. Yeah, is this where he's, starting to kind of suspecting that something is off?
Yeah. You gave him the libc, right?
I did. Which, I mean, he has it in his is it possible that he actually doesn't even have it installed? Is that why he's running the but wait, that doesn't make sense at all. The 32-bit binary wouldn't be able can't load the 64-bit version. No, I'm just I'm talking shit.
Yeah, he should definitely have it.
But
I mean, isn't that it right there? libc-2.27.
Oh, yeah, that was the one I packaged with the challenge.
Right.
So yeah, so he's having some issue with that. So let's hope that he figures it out. Shouldn't really be that much of a problem, right? But yeah. Let's check in back with Mac.
Also, I wonder if that's the same libc that you've used on the Docker.
So yeah, I mean, the libc I gave them is definitely the one running on the service. I logged into the Docker image running on the server and copied the libc from there. So the one they got is the one, but
But I mean, I think where he's downloading it from, that's the normal desktop one, and we have noticed that the one from Docker is like slightly smaller. So it's a little bit different.
Oh, is it? Like,
slightly.
Do they release different versions of libc for?
Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times.
Okay. Haven't seen that before, but I mean, I trust you. So can we see what's going on with Mac? Is it? I'm not exactly following where he's at. Right, he's trying to figure out the offset. Right, that's why he's subtracting these addresses from each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then dividing by 4 because 4 bytes per item, every D word.
Exactly.
And what we're looking for is that they should be finding what it was, like a 7 or something is the offset.
Yeah, it exists at 7, but it also exists further down the stack.
Yeah.
I think Jinmo said 100.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can I watch the YouTube stream? It sounds too funny.
Sorry, what?
Can I watch the stream?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can. You should definitely watch it. And yeah, we should ask you about some commentary from you as well. So just I will send you I'll give you the link here on the. So you have the link there, Jinmo. So please join us in watching what's going on.
Oh, thank you.
So
someone says that Retroid wanted the LD to match the libc so that he could run it, which makes sense.
Yep.
And then someone else is asking if I'm going to compete, which is just crazy talk.
Yeah. And now Retroid is searching for the one gadget thing, which
Yes, from David. There it is.
yeah, I mean
Nice and easy.
that's also a way to do it instead of bothering with like just overwrite canary, overwrite the return address with the one gadget, and you're done, right? So
Right, assuming there's usually some constraints,
yes,
some
yes,
stack constraints and register constraints. The register constraints should be fine here,
yeah,
but the stack constraints, I'm not sure.
yeah. But
Something has to be null, for example.
but I think my experience is that in every situation where I've had the opportunity to do this, there's always been because there's typically between 1 and 5 addresses that you can choose between in one of these libcs, and I think I've always managed to get one of them working. So it's still, yeah, you can see here on a screen he's got like, what's this, like 8 of them to choose between.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, one of these should definitely
So,
work.
so you can see he just needs like the top of the stack to be null, for example, or register to be null.
Yeah,
So yeah, you should probably take one of those because you can definitely make that null.
yeah. What you can do with this, which is a bit funny, I think, is that you can provide the one gadget tool a libc, the target libc as usual, but also you provide it a script, and then it will run the script once for every possible gadget with the address as the argv input. So you can just
Yeah,
get,
that's a perfect solution.
yeah.
Brute
So
force, real CTF messy solution.
yeah,
Love
yeah,
it.
yeah, totally. So let's
No
see.
dignity.
No dignity, only flags. Official team motto of.
Oh, he's using Peter. That's interesting.
Okay. What wasn't he using?
Uh,
No.
I think Mac was using Gev, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen Peter being used in a while.
I,
And Retroid definitely knows about Pwn debug, so he must just prefer Peter.
yeah, but I was. I mean, we've been looking at his screen for quite a while, so I was just sure that. I'm a bit confused now. I thought he was using Pwnable previously.
He might have either that or we're idiots,
Yeah.
which is definitely possible.
Yeah, I'm confused, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
I'm actually curious about the retro setting. He uses the Windows and Linux simultaneously.
Yeah.
Is that a kind of VM or a container OS?
I think that he's running Windows and then he's running a VM, right? Or with Linux, or is he running both of them in separate VMs? Maybe was it him or Mac who was running some? No. Oh yeah, Jinmo, I can ask you about that. What were you using for your virtual machine? Was some program with this that's orange icon and the menus were in Korean?
Yeah, I was using VMware Workstation.
Oh yes, it's just a regular VMware workstation.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I should probably get around to getting the VMware sometime. I'm only using VirtualBox myself.
Yeah, I was using Excel for connecting SSH. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so we got some comments here in the chat, right? Yeah, so I think he's running a Windows VM. Might be the case. Yeah, there's also, people have, for example, they have their IDA license for different platforms depending on maybe what kind of work you usually do. So if you have a Windows version of IDA, you want to, obviously run a Windows as well. So
Like Jiang Ying, for example.
who?
Jiang Ying. He has an IDA license for every platform, doesn't he?
Oh, is that the name of the pirated?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So this is one of those jokes I should be getting, but I'm not, since I've only ever used like a legal version of IDA.
Yeah, of course. For me too, everyone.
I met a guy last year who gave me the business card of that guy, and I didn't get the joke, and it was a bit of an awkward moment. But then when he explained it, it was hilarious. Yeah, so I'm not sure what Retroid is doing now, because he should he should really have it.
Yeah, I don't know. He's being awesome. You never know.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, he's
the
just manually
canary.
trying.
Oh, right.
Oh, he's setting the breakpoint at the right place. Okay.
Right, he wants to see it right in front of his eyes to make that confirmation.
Yep. Before he starts trying the different addresses, and just try one of them to see where it's breaking.
Yeah, and it is pi. We need to put that out. Position independent executable.
Yeah, but we can see from his exploit, like he has the address and then plus the offset.
Right, but when you're debugging, isn't it? That's always a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because you have to recalculate it every time.
Although the binary isn't stripped, so he could just use the names like relative to the name, like asterisk main plus and then the offset.
Yup. I guess though he. So here you got like process user bin sh stop with exit code. So that's something then, but probably that specific gadget didn't work. But what I was going to say is that, if you played a bunch of these, so he's saying that I think it's working, just his bin sh is incompatible. Could be the case. So is he gonna try it remotely now? So then I'm just gonna finish this line of thought. Was that what I was saying, that is, if you played a lot of these Pwnables, you're so used to them being stripped, so you might not even consider the option that you would do the breakpoints relative to the names.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, let's see if his so. Yeah, he's getting some really strange results.
What's happening?
Yeah. So the cat flag won't work because we have this other system basically, but the ls should give him output, so we should see when it works for him. So yeah, this is just a message to all the players. There's no flag file on the remote, but you should be able to run like ID and ls or whatever, and they should give you a reasonable output, and then you will have done it.
There's an interesting question in the chat by an interesting person, so maybe you want to take that one.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we have a question here. If like stripped binaries, if you still get a GDB symbol for the entry point, and you don't, right? That's the issue. Like you can't. I mean, or at least this is a problem I usually have when you have like pi binaries that you have to break as quickly as possible. And then
right,
you have
so what I do is put a breakpoint at *0 *0.
Yeah.
And then, just sort of grab everything from there. But I don't think that's, it's far from ideal for sure. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm being a retard.
No, but I mean, what you would want is some way of like breaking right after the elf loader has finished, and then just reset all the breakpoints relative to the base address. But
Def has entry break apparently.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I love this though, right? A bunch of people have different tricks and they all sort of chuck them in when we
Yeah.
have a weird question about just that stuff that you never get to. We always talk about the solutions of the actual pwn, but not the path to the, all the sort of everyday exploitation rubbish.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what it's about, right? It's I mean, entertainment and education. It's not only necessarily specifically about the challenge, but just general knowledge and tips and tricks.
Right. Last time, Lays from Pwnable.tw gave that awesome const grep trick,
Oh yeah,
and I've been using that like crazy since.
oh yeah. That was a really good one. I actually, it's really good that you reminded me about it because I forgot about the name. I was thinking about it when we were in Korea for CodeGate, but didn't. Well, it wasn't strictly necessary. It was a super simple thing at that time, but yeah. But I
Are
also
you saying if you remembered, you would have got second instead of third?
absolutely not. It was actually not even in the competition. It was while we were building challenges for the Midnight Sun CTF.
Okay.
But I did learn how to use the enum functionality thing in IDA, which I haven't been using previously, so that was cool. Anyway.
Const grep trick, someone's asking. It's just a little tool that comes with Pwn tools. So it's a standalone command line tool. Just CONST-GREP. So it just lets you examine constants from C and get those values without having to write some shitty little program to print it out or something like that.
So really nice when you're working with like OS APIs to get all the flags for different calls. It's like especially when you're working, for example, with the Windows API, there's a lot of these different flags for all kinds of stuff. And in the code, of course, you will only see these numbers, but you want the textual names of them.
Yeah, it's a big time saver. I'd also like something that just dumps the complete system call table for whatever I'm dealing with for different architectures, and also tells me about the arguments. It doesn't just sort of, show me the system call number. That would be great.
Yeah.
And it probably exists, obviously.
Yeah, and this was just a link posted in the chat for the const grep thing in the Pwn Tools documentation. So that's very helpful. Oh, we have a solution here, right? Great.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Retroid.
Right, flag submit is broken.
Gonna bring him in.
User was moved to
Hi,
your
Retroid.
channel.
Congratulations,
Well done, mate.
Retroid.
Hi.
Hey,
Thanks.
hey,
Did I win?
you got second place by about an hour margin. So,
Oh wow.
but really well played. It's cool. Let's check in with Mac. Let's give him a few more moments, I think, and we do want to keep this kind of like not running for longer than necessarily. So let's see how he's doing, and yeah, we'll see for how long we'll let this run. But maybe we're just gonna double check what he is doing right now, and then just in a moment, if you want to explain a little bit about the challenge and your exploit, so that would be cool. But for the moment, let's just quickly check what Mac is doing. And he's still fiddling about with the address of the format string, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't really be caring about the address itself, right? He should only be caring about the offset to the pointer to the format string, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of like going one step too far or not long enough, depending on how you view it.
But that is the right amount of bytes.
Oh, the 1, 2,
To make
3, 3,
%S.
6, yeah. Yeah, so for those who are a bit confused about that, so what you want to write those 2 bytes, the %s into the format string, and I mean, if you treat those 2 characters as a 16-bit value and you write it in decimal, that's what you get.
So what he's writing there is the digit 0 twice. So 3030 in hex.
So,
I don't know why.
Oh, so that's not actually the value that you should be writing, or
Right? No, that's not it.
Okay, so do you think that he's just doing it as like a placeholder to just?
Yeah, something that he can find easily in memory, perhaps.
Okay, that's cool. So we're gonna let him fiddle with that a little bit. And Retroid, could you just give us a kind of a run through of the challenge and your exploit and your take on it? And we have you on screen now, so you can use that.
Awesome. So, like, obviously the program binary has a format string vulnerability. It accepts like 12 bytes of input at a time, and then formats that as a format string. And that isn't quite enough characters to get like a proper arbitrary write. So I started by overwriting the format string itself to let me read in. Well, sorry, I started by overwriting the format string that scanf uses to read in the input to begin with, so I could get a longer input to work with. And yeah, then I just used printf to get an arbitrary write to overwrite the stack pointer and jump to magic gadget in libc.
Yeah.
It took me quite a while to figure out that I could modify the scanf formatter on the stack. I also didn't realize that it was only reading in 12 bytes of user input, because
Sorry, Retroid, we lost you on the voice.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I was using push to talk.
Okay.
How long ago did I stop talking?
Oh, just a few seconds. Like, it took you
Alright.
quite a while to figure out that you could overwrite the
Alright.
scanf, and then about there
Yeah.
we lost you.
So when I was first looking at the pseudocode that Ida kindly decompiled for me,
Yeah.
it didn't realize that it was a string on the stack. It was treating it as an integer, and when viewing it as a character literal rather than a string literal,
Yeah.
the end unit is reversed, and I thought it was reading in 21 characters, and I was really confused why it wasn't working, because
Yeah.
I thought it was reading 21, but
Yeah.
it was actually only reading 12.
Yep. Yeah, this is a difference you see with the different X-ray versions. But yes, that we saw that it you struggled a little bit with figuring that out. But once you got that, it was kind of smooth sailing, or?
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I got a little bit of a hold up. Well, I had 2 hold ups actually. First hold up was the libc version isn't compatible with my local version of LD, so I had to download one off the Ubuntu repos that was compatible, so I could actually test using the remote libc version.
Oh yeah.
And the second hold up was the magic gadget that I tried using to begin with didn't work, and then the second one I also tried didn't work, and I spent a while debugging it before I just tried the next magic gadget, and it worked. So.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, and at some point you were loading the 64-bit.
Oh yeah, okay, that was another hold up. I think it was a 32-bit binary, and yeah, downloaded the wrong package.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, we should ask you the same thing that we asked Jinmo as well. So, if you would rate this Pwnable in a kind of standard like 100 to 500 CTF points, where would you grade it?
Probably maybe 150 to 200. Like,
That
it's
is
not
the correct answer.
Nice. Because like it's not particularly tricky. There's just a bit of a trick that you've got to find, and once you've got that trick, there isn't much to it. So I would say 150 to 200.
Oh yeah, cool.
All
So
right, tell him how long it took Jinmo, please. Zeta.
yeah,
10
Tell
minutes.
him how long. No,
it wasn't
15,
quite
wasn't it?
10 minutes, but it was like 15 minutes. It was it was mind blowing. So I mean, you should watch
Damn.
this. You should watch the video afterwards.
I'm definitely going to watch the recording.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's amazing.
Yeah, he's a beast, but you've done well, mate. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, really fun having you on here. Let's switch on over to Mac's view again and just check how he's doing. And yeah, so still, it feels like he's on to the right thing, right? But something is off. So
Yeah.
I don't know what more to say about that actually.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate. It seems to be some sort of debugging error because I can't imagine it takes him this long to figure out those offsets. So it just
no.
seems like he's constantly correcting. But that's the thing. Like when we're watching this, sometimes we miss those details. Last time with HPMV, we didn't really understand why he was looking at the local descriptor table. And he explained it after and it made perfect sense. But to us, it just seemed like he was wasting time. So I think this is one of those situations where I can't quite understand what the angle is here. But he does seem to understand he needs to write to the format string. We can
Yep.
see that much.
Yeah. Yeah, this is that's interesting to see where he gets stuck and so on.
Yeah. Obviously, he's got tons of experience. I can't imagine it's that he doesn't understand something.
No. Yeah, and as we said before, like these kind of things happen where you get kind of a bit stuck in for some silly reason, and like as you can quite obviously see, even these like real veterans do this. So yeah, that's
Which is great to see because I gotta be honest, I sort of only get through anything through persistence.
yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm an idiot, but I'm persistent. So it's great to see that really good guys have some of the same issues.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like this is always this like room for improvement, like really practice these things and polish all these different kind of methods and different techniques to really try to minimize the risk for these. Oh, look at this! No, wait, that was not the. Oh, sorry, I was. I thought it was this offset 100, the same as Jinmo used, but it was just that he was printing 100 items. So yeah, got excited for the wrong reason.
False alarm.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah. So he is. Yeah, this is it's really like if he just gets this, then everything else will just fall in place so quickly.
I do think we got the challenge right this time, though. So maybe in future we should aim for the same sort of level. I think we found that spot we were looking for.
Yeah, that's probably cool. I
keep
think.
the stream under 5 hours long. Seems like a
Yeah,
good move.
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, we didn't go that far of the previous ones, but I mean, this is definitely more in line with what we're aiming for. And to all of you who are watching this, I mean, this is only the third time we're doing this, so we're trying to kind of evolve the concept and make improvements on the format and so on. So any feedback from you is immensely valuable. So please reach out, like write in the chat, write to me just on Twitter or wherever. We even have an email address like contact@pwny.racing. So yeah.
Also, if we could give a shout out to Cyphertex, who's been watching and contributed some awesome questions. He is obviously the sort of, I don't know, the Jesus of this format. I mean, he really invented this format, didn't he? With those live CTF streams from DEF CON a couple years ago.
Yeah, totally. That's, I mean, one of our main sources of inspiration to all of this is it was like that, and then there was someone else did a similar thing, and then we had some late night discussions at the CCC. Some people a couple of months ago said that we should really bring this back, and we did. So yeah. So Bob,
Yeah,
will we have a? We can take the time to talk about last month's community challenge as well. I think that's a good opportunity for that. So typically the way this works is that we invite some people to this, but we also had last time we had a community challenge. So the day after the stream, we released another Pwnable to everyone, and basically the first one to solve it would get an invite to this episode as well. And Mac was the one invited to this. He was technically the second solver of the community challenge, but the first one to solve it could unfortunately not attend. So
yeah, we could say the name Laxa.
Yeah.
A great French hacker that's out there.
Yeah,
Works for Synactive.
exactly. So we have it on our website, Pwny.Racing. We try to put up information about the episodes and this community challenge idea. So Mac was the second solver of the last community challenge, which is why we invited him here as participant to this one. So the idea is to release one of these in connection to each episode. Typically, not directly after, because we don't want people to first watch like 1, 2, 3 hour stream and then need to jump right into solving something on their own. So last time we did it just 24 hours after the stream, for example. But I don't know. Do we have a community challenge lined up for this time, or are we gonna need to postpone that a little bit, Bob?
No, we have something.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And we
So,
will be
I
releasing
guess
it
tomorrow.
Yep,
Yeah.
cool. And we'll just so 24 hours after the stream started. So we will be releasing it at 3 p.m. UTC. We will be releasing the community challenge. And so basically, go to the website, pwny.racing, check out the community challenge, and tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC, we will release the next community challenge. So the first one to solve it will get an invite to the next episode of the Pwny Racing. So that's the idea.
So it looks like Mac is just he just checked checksec, and I imagine he thought that he could write maybe to the GOT, Global Offset Table, and he's just found out that it has full railroad.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going on there.
Do you think he's a bit like thrown a little bit off track here?
Yeah, I think that might have happened, but he was onto it so quickly that and he's, a high level guy, so I don't know if it's safe to assume that, but there's definitely some of the signs.
Yeah. Really unfortunate. We got some
you
comments.
have some questions.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so we got just some positive feedback from Daniel here, I think. Thank you very much. And question here, are we going to let the winners play together when you have 4 of them? Oh, yeah, so that's something we have been discussing, like how can we make like some kind of like season finale or something like that. Of course, part of it is a bit of a scheduling challenge, of course, but it would be really cool to have like a best of the best episode where all of the winners face off against each other. So that's totally something we are exploring our options on that front. And yeah, someone said that Jordan should participate. I totally agree.
Yeah, either as a player or a commentator for sure.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Like Bob, we put in you in as one of the participants, and I get Jordan as a co-commentator.
Oh, great.
So yeah, that's cool. So someone said that we should do it more often. I mean,
I would though. That's the thing. I know you wouldn't, and you like trying to space them out, and that's probably smart. I would do this every day.
yeah, I think that once we get this rolling properly, we when we get like the overhead work down a little bit, and we have like a steady stream of participants, because I mean, actually it's not that simple to find people who want to participate. Actually, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of pressure, and then the format. Some people aren't into the esports
No.
format for this sort of thing.
And I think a lot of people feel that you're really putting yourself out there when you're like, showing the whole world how you work, and like it gets so obvious when you get stuck on things, and I mean, you, that shouldn't really be an issue, because it's all part of this of the show, right? But I can totally see how this can be like frustrating, or you can be nervous about this. So yeah, it's
Right, but up till now, we've only ever had really good people on,
yeah.
and they don't need to prove anything in the race format.
No,
They're
no,
good. We know they're good. There's nothing that needs to be said there.
yeah,
Like Mac right now is a top level guy. You know, it doesn't matter.
no, totally.
And it's a great bit of education, isn't it? Like if you're just starting out, you get to see how the sausage is made.
Yeah. And I mean, if everyone was doing it like jinmo, there wouldn't really be that much to comment on, right? It's
Yeah, true.
uh, so you want the right amount of struggle, right? The right amount of competition.
Yeah, that's what I do. Every time I step to a Pwn challenge, I go, you know what? I don't want to do this like Jinmo today. It's just I don't want to get it done too quickly. It's just boring. You know what I mean? Let me just struggle for a day or two on this.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, couldn't have said it better myself. Another suggestion is to have like an easy and a hard community challenge. Well, maybe it's something we could consider. I don't think. I mean, there are a lot of resources. Like if you want to try out Pwnables and get into this, we're not really trying to compete with these war game sites like Pwnable.kr and Pwnable.tw. When it comes to like hosting challenges, we just want to put something small out there, to get some new players into the episode, and so on. I think.
I'll make challenges for anybody, anytime.
Yeah.
As many as you need, mate.
Yeah. So I'm considering how
I mean, I'd love to see Max see it through. I'll be honest, because I'm a fan.
yeah, yeah, I
But I
totally agree.
understand that you might be thinking of giving him the options, throwing the towel. That's your call.
Yeah, yeah, and we haven't, compared to the other episodes, we haven't been running. Um,
Or maybe give him the 10 minutes
yeah,
instead
yeah,
of the 2
I mean,
hours.
totally. At a minimum, I'm thinking like, should I give him 10 or 20? Is basically what I'm considering. But let's start. Let's look at this. Check how it's going for him throughout these 10 minutes, and now we're gonna maybe like just stop talking about other stuff and really try to deep dive into what is really going on here. And I am not at all sure, actually. I seems like he might have discarded the got ideas, and hopefully that has kind of like steered him back towards where he should be going.
Yeah, I wish the exploit wasn't obscured so I could see where he was getting those pointers from.
Yeah,
Then it would become much clearer.
that's totally true. So now there isn't a lot going on
Hmm.
at
He
all.
might have gone to the toilet or something.
Yeah, I'm just need to double check that I'm still, that is, it's not that his stream, that the stream didn't die or anything. Um, no, it's fine. He's back. Yeah, I mean, you might need like a, toilet break, leg stretcher, go fetch some water, whatever. It's always, important that you are the best version of yourself, and like on top with the uh, water, food, and anything. Especially when you're doing these like really long CTFs, you can be, stuck with the same challenge for like 10 hours straight. It's really important to not forget yourself.
Yeah, I've never been good at that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, what is going on, Mac? What is going on? What's so
So you can see that the format string is passed to that login function, and he's
Yeah.
sort of hovering around that area. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that what he's seeing is that he might have been. There's 2 pointers that point to that format string, as far as I could tell.
yeah.
So he might be debugging that he was messing with one rather than the other. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And this is the, this var 14, which is then pushed as an argument to
Yeah.
login, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's
Right, so he's definitely looking at that stack space right above the login call. So all the arguments that are being passed there. And he seems to have done some calculation with that 0xc, which is obviously the allocation for that call. Which is the actual buffer for the format string, plus the pointer.
yeah. So Retroid and Jinmo, you're watching the stream as well, watching Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching.
So do you have any did you, so this thing, for example, that he was looking at, like for example the global offset table for a while here, was like any of that something that you considered, or was did you go, what bad ideas did you have throughout the challenge basically? I mean, seems like maybe Jinmo actually got straight to it, but so yeah, I don't know. Retroid, when you were searching for this, figuring out the thing that the format string for the scanf was on the stack. What other things were you considering, or?
That's a good question, really. I mean, I think the biggest setback for me was not realizing that it was only reading in 12 bytes.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't even realize it was a problem until like up near the end, when I was just wondering, why isn't my input being accepted all at once? Why is it being split into 12 byte chunks?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and actually I've gone back into IDA and I've fixed the decompilation now, so it shows properly. So yeah.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, something like that can really, throw you off, like really mess with you when you basically, like, you're reading one thing, but your brain kind of translates it in the wrong way, and you're just so sure that it's reading 21 bytes, and then you kind of like note that down mentally as like a fact, and then you run with that, and it causes all kinds of issues. So
Yeah, exactly. In that frantic pace, you make some assumption and then obviously you get the results that happen when you get assumptions. Max, right into you, I
Oh
think.
yeah, he's throwing in the towel. Is
Yeah,
that?
all right, that's fair enough. Let's
Yeah,
get some commentary from him at
yeah.
least.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey Mac.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah. So you are the last one. So let's wrap it up. I think you
Sure.
did a great job. But yeah. So just could you just tell us a little bit about what you were looking at the moment, or how far you come? And
So I stacked on trying to expand the string format to be able to write more bytes,
oh yeah.
and that kind of can go through it because I was always missing one byte,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and yeah,
Yeah. I mean it's the totally right idea, right?
Yeah.
So it's I mean you yeah. Just
yeah, I overwrite part of it, but it's it destroyed the string format, and then I just couldn't fit them more. Somehow couldn't fit the
so-
whole.
I was almost stuck. Well, I was stuck on that for a bit as well, but I realised there's already a pointer to the format string on the stack, so you
Yeah,
can reference the pointer that's already there.
yeah, I used it, but it still was like one bit enough. One byte not enough.
okay.
Because I expanded the first part, but then I cancelled the rest because I couldn't write a whole. I only could write whole words, not no whole D word, not words.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah. So because you need to use the like HN modifier, right?
Yeah, but N wasn't like when I used HN, it didn't fit, so that was something strange. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean that's you were really close because yeah, after that
Yeah, I figured if I managed to extend it, it's game over. That wasn't a problem. But
Yeah.
yeah, somehow couldn't fit the payload in it. I don't know why.
yeah. Oh, but that's cool. I mean yeah, I think it was really cool watching you all. So yeah, thank you all for participating. It was a super nice episode, I think. And yeah, I think maybe Bob, do you have any comments from you before we try to wrap this up? Or
I just want to say I'm a big fan of all of you guys, so I really appreciate you participating. And obviously Jinmo was ridiculous with the speed, but you're all like killer people, and it was great to see how you approach this problem.
yeah. So, do you guys have anything to say, or any questions about this, or something before we wrap this up?
Oh wait, Mac, could you rate the challenge, please, between 100 and 500 in CTF point difficulty?
I don't know. I'm very bad at this. Since I didn't finish it, it's actually not a good place for me to write it. Right. I get that idea pretty quickly. It was a nice challenge, but I don't know why I couldn't fit the whole pilot. I was doing something wrong, obviously. I have no idea why. But the challenge was nice. I like it.
Okay. I mean, we'll take that as an answer, right, Bob?
Yeah. He said 150. That's what he just said.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. Jinmo, Retroid, any final remarks?
It was very fun experience.
Okay.
Because I didn't have a chance to talk English this much. So sorry for bad English.
Oh no, it's it's no problem. It's super nice. So yeah,
Okay, thank you.
that's cool.
It's good to know you're not good at everything.
Wow, ouch. Yeah, but as we said, thanks you all for watching. We will be releasing the community challenge tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC, which is an opportunity for any one of you who is watching to solve that challenge and be the first to solve it, and participate in the next episode. And we also got this comment that we should just put up like an application form on the website. I think that's a good idea because we don't know everyone, but people might be watching this and thinking that they want to give this a shot. So yeah, and again, any kind of feedback that you have as a viewer is very much appreciated. And someone asked if we could post the Dropbox link again. Yeah, I mean I can post it, but I will also we will put up the challenge on the website with all the information, so you will be able to download it there. We still haven't really sorted hosting them permanently, but we will probably do that as well, and kind of maybe build something around that, but we'll see about that in the future. So with that, I want to thank everyone involved, all the participants, Jinmo, Mac, Retroid, and Bob, my co-commentator and the challenge author, and yeah, so, and to all the viewers and the people helping out in the comments and the chat. That was making this like a community experience. And with that, I'm going to shut this down, and we will see you all in a month for the next episode. So have a nice weekend. Continue playing the Played CTF, which is running. And thank you and goodbye. Bye.